Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today's video, we're going to talk about the niche lady. Yesterday, the niche lady decided to private her most recent lives. Why would she do that? Her most recent live on her channel is from 5 months ago now. I think she's scared. But did she not think that Vad is Rad would have those downloaded? The ones that are very beneficial to Dana's lawsuit. If you guys don't know about Dana's lawsuit, I'll link a video down below. It'll take 24 hours to reflect on her Social Blade account, but on her Social Blade account, it'll show negative views. Why do we think she's privating her lives? In my opinion, she's scared. I don't actually know if they're privated or deleted. My guess is privated. Surely her attorney, if he was reputable, he wouldn't tell her to delete them because that would be like fucking crazy. Speaking of Nisha's attorney, he is the same one that was used for the bankruptcy. So basically this lawsuit against Dana, who is Vision of the West Coast, I'll link her channel down below if you have not watched her videos. So the lawsuit against her is just the bankruptcy case reopened. They're trying to hold her in contempt. Such fucking bullshit, in my opinion. Somebody made a good point. They're like, well, you know, maybe he had to take the case because he was the initial attorney. And I did a little bit of research, and if it was in their engagement letter, if it said representation includes any post-closing or enforcement proceedings, it all depends on what was in their engagement letter. He didn't necessarily have to represent her. There was some misinformation going around on Reddit, and I just want to talk about that. It's really starting to piss me off that people are like tweaking things, twisting things just a little bit. You guys don't need to do that though, because Dani has gotten herself into enough shit that there are so many truths out there. Somebody on Reddit posted that her attorney was in her bankruptcy as one of her creditors. That is incorrect. Her attorney represented her in the bankruptcy case. I even messaged this person on Reddit and I said, hey, this information is false. And they said that they would redact their statement, but they haven't so far. So I'm like, what the fuck? Again, it's really starting to piss me off that people are taking things and twisting them. You guys don't need to do that. I got an email yesterday that I want to read to you guys. This person is still in the process of sending me more information, so there's definitely gonna be updates. But this person said, talking about the niche lady, this lady is a fraud, which you already know. Here's some additional facts about her. All alleged, of course. She opened a thrift store called the Time Machine. It was approximately 20,000 square feet. She then took consignment items from people that she had found through her eBay training courses she offered. The business only lasted about 4 months before it was closed due to lack of payment to the landlord. When the Time Machine closed, she locked out the vendors, rented 5 storage units down the street, and started moving all of the consigned items to those units. Later on, she sold those items and pocketed the money. Hundreds of people were out of their pocket. I have the list of all those people. At the time, she was drawing money from the Time Machine and collecting Social Security disability benefits. Federal level fraud. I have a clip of her admitting to that, so we're gonna play that now. Yes, her husband did leave her during this time, but who would blame him after cashing out his Roth IRA in the tune of $80,000 to help her pay for this endeavor? Failed endeavor. Once that money was gone, she was done with him and he was done with her too. I feel like I need to have a little talk with Steve-O because I bet he's got some good stuff to say. Steve, who was her ex-husband, put in over $80,000 from his 401k. There was also another investor who I believe put in $75,000. Would have to go back on my records and check, but it was at least $50,000 minimum. This was to be a small warehouse for listing storage. I seen the business was going to fail in the first 30 days, pulled my items quickly, as did some other vendors, items missing from the retail store, and no checks cut to the vendors. Me and a past employee of the Time Machine worked for months to put together evidence to take to the prosecutor trying to find other victims. In the end, the prosecutor would not take the case. And I was done throwing money at it. Not only did she steal the money from the investors, she also stole the product from the vendors, storing them in 5 storage units, later on selling them. It's probably why we didn't hear from her for a year or two. She lived off of those items stolen. Just wanted to add, Steve, Dani's ex-husband, seen the writing on the wall and got out, did not want to be drugged down by her. I still believe that he had the ability and intention to write the eBay retail program, but Dani never had permission from eBay to integrate to their system. Later tried to sell the program to some investors for $20,000. It wasn't even completed yet. The meeting contract was through an auction company that she worked for called McManus here in Las Vegas. She only lasted about 3 months there before he fired her. This is only a small amount of information. This person is sending me more, so stay tuned for that. Now let's talk about JDA Collectibles and the cease and desist that was sent to him. Was it by Niche? No, it wasn't. It was by Dawn Hudson Vintage. What the fuck? Yes, this is a legit law firm. Of course, I verified it. Dear Mr. Blank, please be advised that this firm has been retained to represent Miss Dawn blah blah blah. This will serve to put you on notice that you are directed to cease and desist from any further communication with my client. So he'd already done that. He'd already done that because Dawn had texted him, I believe, texted him or called him and said that he's causing her too much stress because she claims that she has a heart condition and he's causing her too much stress, but yet she's turning around and going into her lives, consuming the content. She's coming to my channel, consuming the content. So no, common sense would say that we're not the ones causing her stress. It's her own fault because she's coming to our channels, consuming the content. I've already talked about this in the previous video. I'm like, if you truly have a heart condition, don't fucking watch these videos and stay up to date on the drama. Okay? Please refrain from the following: threatening my client that you are going after her. So he meant legally. He didn't mean like physically, which I don't know if she's trying to twist that around to say that he meant physically, but he meant legally. So in my opinion, he wasn't threatening, he was promising. Falsely stating that my client owns a YouTube channel named Niche Shopping Network. As a point of reference, NSN is now dormant. Moreover, my client never owned the channel but was a managing editor. So I don't know if he actually said that Don was the owner, because that was Niche's other bullshit YouTube channel. So yeah, I don't know if he specifically said that Don was the owner, but I mean, it says it right here. She was a managing editor. Repeated threats wherein you state that you will come for my client as an owner are slanderous and inappropriate. Really using that word in a C&D? That's inappropriate. Sounds like you're talking to a child. What I think this is referring to, Dave, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it is him talking about having his videos removed from the Niche Shopping Network because there are still videos on there of his live shows and Niche is still making money off those videos. And he has said many times, take those videos down. So I don't know if he, directed it at Dawn too, because she was a managing editor. You have published old and false texts about my client from Danny Fuckface, the owner of NSN, when Miss Fuckface was trying to have you invest in NSN, and now you're portraying these texts as truth when you know this is inaccurate. The fact that the texts are old, that's irrelevant. You can publish old texts, so again, irrelevant. Oh, and this next part just proves that, like, these attorneys, like, where's your proofreader? Where is your proofreader? Because this makes no fucking sense. So these points are under, please refrain from the following. So these are things that their attorney is telling him not to do. So the next point is, we, however, have the screenshots from your show 10/28/25 which show otherwise. So why is that there? That should have been like in addition to the line above, like another sentence, not a whole other point that he should refrain from doing. You've continued to lie to my client's audience about her after she was gracious enough to recommend you to them. So how is he lying to her audience? He's not going to her lives, I don't think. After she was gracious enough to recommend you to them. Does she have millions of followers and he got like millions of followers? Because how did he benefit from her graciously recommending him? You have continued to make a statement at the beginning of your live streams stating your content is for entertainment purposes. However, this disclaimer is not a shield against publishing false statements and defamation against my client. How not? So if I state what I'm about to say is for entertainment purposes only, and I tell you guys, I robbed a bank, and then someone turns around and thinks that I really did rob a bank, even though I stated it was for entertainment purposes only, that's on them. Like, that's on them for thinking that. Again, this guy was a legit attorney, but this looks like more bullshit. And here's a little fun fact. Anyone can write a cease and desist. It does not have to come from an attorney. Anyone can write one. It's basically just telling someone who you think is doing something they shouldn't be doing to stop. It's giving them the opportunity to stop before you pursue legal action. Also, this is my opinion, but a cease and desist letter is like $500 minimum from an attorney. And I don't think that just because someone writes a cease and desist letter, they're automatically gonna take on your case. Again, that's my opinion, but I feel like that's just a quick $500 that they can make. But again, you would think someone that has a medical condition and, all this is causing them so much stress, why would you get an attorney involved and take it this step further? Did you not think that he would talk about this or I would talk about this and it would gain more traction? There'd be more people talking about it. Going back to deleted lives, this person had sent me a message yesterday that said, "Hi Vad, in Nisha's video, I'm so tired. The Niche lady, week at a glance from the timestamps, blah, blah, blah. She talks about how she doesn't take days off and she works 7 days a week. Contradicts her lawsuit saying she's working now more, etc."
A lot of stuff has been leading me to, I don't take a day off. I never take a day off. I am working 7 days a week and I feel guilty taking a day off. And I've been really, really reading and working on being okay with taking a day off. Like I really want to get to that. I want to find another church where I can get involved.
You guys should comment down below and let me know why you think Niche Lady's privating all her past lives. Again, common sense, in my opinion, says that she's hiding shit. She knows she's fucked, so she's trying to do damage control. And in my opinion, again, it's not going to work out for her because Mama's got the videos saved. Guys, that's going to be it for today's video. As always, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.